What's up, Savages? Two things. Number one, you're going to hear Maven in the background. He's playing Destiny right now. He's streaming it, and he's not very good. Number two, I went to the aquarium, and I watched a play. It's called Dolphin Tales. It's about a guy named Star Spinner whose ship crashed because of the evil monsters, and he needed the help from the crowd to reinvigorate everything. So all I got out of it were that dolphins are badass, and that guy is probably a shitty actor. Let's begin. So, friends, family, this is actually going to be a really, really cool video here because I've been meaning to do something like this for quite some time. There's actually a country music song that as to why I wanted to do it, but the country music song was called If I Could Write a Letter to Me. And so today I'm going to do If I Could Record a Video for Me. I guess. But so it all is because of this guy right here, Dark Chris. So RX Dark Chris, number one, I'm going to go ahead and do this as well. You're the fucking man. Anyone who helps me out with a good video idea, I appreciate it a lot. So as you can tell here, it says, if you could go back in time to 11 years old, knowing everything you know now, what would you do and what would you change? All right. The first thing I would do, if I could go back in time, one, I would say, accept the fact you're going to have glasses, you four-eyed bitch, right? Because I delayed it. I was driving for like 3 years without it. But anyways, going back, we're going to start off with gaming. The first thing I would do with gaming is I wouldn't change anything competitively that I've done, right? I would take the exact same steps, but I would change my mentality. Very early on, I knew, right? I knew the mental game is a huge part of competing, and I think everyone knows that. You go in there, and if you're like a little bit flustered and you let it get to you, you start panicking, and you realize that anxiety is a bad thing instead of harnessing it for the good. Right? Like in clutch situations, like let's say it's like 49-49, round 11, Call of Duty, Search and Destroy, right? Or you're in a fucking 1v1 in Smite and it's like fucking the 50-second timer time. When you're in there, both people are panicking. You have a heightened heart rate, everything, your body's racing, everything. You're starting to think, you're starting to panic. The other guy's panicking as well. The key is to panic just a little bit less, right? So I knew that at a young age that was the thing. My brother taught me that, and we can raise up here a little bit. My brother taught me that. So the one thing I would change, though, I would say, Scott, you're a little fucking asshole. And you think you're the best at everything when you have a fuck ton to work on. My communication, average as fuck. I would have put, like, now when I play, I'm a better communicator than I am at shooting, right? Which, obviously, you get older, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not that. It's just I haven't put the time in. And will I ever have that shot again? No, probably not. Because when you communicate a lot, you start focusing on communication and painting a picture rather than just zoning out and focusing on your individual skill, right? Which, you need those players like that. But communication is huge. I would tell myself to start communicating a lot more. The other thing I would do is trust my teammates. There's a lot of times where throughout all of Halo where, I wouldn't trust one of my teammates. Going into the 2007 National Championship, for example, I didn't trust any of my teammates. I had faith in myself. I knew I was going to show up because I put the time in, right? And to go into a National Championship and say, I know that I'm the best, and I don't know what my fucking teammates are going to do, but it doesn't matter. They're along for the ride, right? It's a weird fucking mentality to have, and like I don't regret it at all. I think it's the right mentality, but I would really want to put more trust in my teammates, because when you have this mentality, and I can go back and watch the gameplays, for straight ripping, we just beat them. We mentally fucked Neighbor that event, and it didn't really matter. But first, like Final Boss, I could tell like I was. Like, when I go back and watch it, I can tell, like, I was trying to do too much because I didn't trust my teammates. My job was to slay, right? And I was trying to do objective and trying to get in their base and trying to do all this other shit. And when I go back, I'm like, wow, man, like, I could have been the reason we didn't win a game. I mean, I wasn't, because I still played well, but it's not how... He's getting shit on. It's not how it is. Now, if I were to fast forward just a little bit, which would probably be the most important time, in like 2012, I was in this rift, right? I was in between what I need to do in life and my passion, right? And it was, it's really, really difficult. I was so far behind in school, and I thought I was so far in the gaming industry, but really I wasn't. And, have you ever, like, the only way I can describe it was like, imagine you dug yourself a hole, okay? So I dug myself into this hole. Was it 2012? It's 2014 now, so I was 22. I'm like still one class away from an associate's degree, whatever, fuck that. It doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. And I had dug this big hole for myself. And the thought of just getting out of the hole caused me anxiety. And I was like, fuck it. I don't want to look at this. I don't want anything to do with this. This is not for me. I just have to avoid it. So I would go to drinking and try to just get away from it and just be like, oh, yeah, blindly tell myself that I'm doing okay. But I just fucked myself, right? So I would tell myself then, like, dude, you gotta grind out. Like, I would say, you have all the tools in front of you to make yourself better, and you're not. Right? And that's the big thing here, okay? Because my most important years was not 2012. It wasn't 2011, wasn't 06, wasn't 07, definitely wasn't fucking 08. It wasn't 05, it was none of that. It was from 2012 in November, basically through 2012 through 2013 November, right? That was my big year. That was my year where I had to fucking make myself something. And I put everything behind me. And I still didn't do it as well as I should have. I never made a streaming schedule, right? I never was really religious on doing YouTube videos. And finally I am now, right? But besides the past 10 days. But I think everyone kind of understands with a move and a broken fucking phone, right? But, like, I never made those two things, right? I never made them important. I never tried to better myself or anything like that. I never tried to rise above mediocrity. And that is, like, what I would tell myself. I would say, look, you have YouTube, you have Twitch, you have everything in front of you. You need to fucking seize the opportunity. Stop feeling bad on yourself because everyone else is starting to get success, right? And back then, I was just, it was a nightmare, right? Like, even thinking back onto it, right? Like, T-Squared's still a fucking douchebag, don't get me wrong, but this is a pretty decent example in 2008. Now, we won a national championship. We took second at the other event, but T-Squared, he was marketing himself better than me. And, like, when I look back at it, he wasn't. That's why he got Dr. Pepper, and that's why I got fucking Stride Gum. Right? So I was a hater then, right? And even when, like, Call of Duty started getting success, like with Black Ops 2 and everyone started fucking just crushing it, I was like, fuck these kids. Like, their game sucks. They suck. Until I then got into the scene and realized, oh, this is a good fucking scene, right? But haters are there because they realize that the tools are there, but they don't fucking do it because there's so much pressure on them to do it. Like, oh, what if I start up and it sucks? What if, people don't like it? What if I waste all this time? Fuck you, all right? That's what I would say. And I had those same fucking thoughts until I just said, fuck it. Fuck you. That's the key. Tell yourself to fuck off. Because at the end of the day, only you have control of what happens in your future. And some people are okay with working a fucking 9 to 5. I wasn't. I work a fucking 9 to 10. 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and I love every fucking second of it because I'm in my scene doing what I love. And that's awesome. So those are the biggest things for me. Other than that, fucking just grind, bros. Like, that's it. The tools are there. Everything is there for you to excel. As always, I love you, but I don't love you. Take it easy. If anyone has a couch in the Atlanta area, by all means, donate it to me. I have nothing.